one final dose of dopamine for you all as we are entering our final featured match of the day. I am 40 Lions, joined by ZSX. We are Quake Pro League Stage 2, Week 7, and we have ZenAku versus dramiS coming right up. Dan, how do you feel about it?
I like it. ZenAku's been on one, map off Rafa. Oh, hail ZenAku. But
it's amazing that that's such a feat, right? Like, that is the grand championship. It's like, he took a map off Rafa. But yeah, he's playing out of his mind. Go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's just a bad.
No, you just taught me of a good little integration for the product. If anyone's listening, you should have like bounties on people's heads. If they get too many wins in a row, you get like triple prize money for beating them.
Hey, $1,000 on Rafa's head. You heard it here first. But yeah, I mean, just improving, relentless. Go on. And he's jacked. Look at him. He's making you proud in all facets.
He's okay. He's doing better than most pros. But someone like dramiS, I feel a bit sorry for him. I think we were just speaking of broadcast. He's got a bit of a tox vibe about him in terms of the way performances are going. He's looking decent. He's a bit flashy. He loves to play aggressive, but things are just not going his way. And I think one of the reasons is that his traditional pool of meta champions is Slash and Athena. He likes to be a bit aggressive, but the way, in my mind, the meta shifted is a much more heavy-based positional playstyle, and so it leaves him a little bit vulnerable when he's going into these engagements. Like, I've seen him countless games on Slash where he's playing really well, the tides turn, he can't get back into the game. So he definitely need a bit of an adjustment on how he approaches the game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so it might be a pick ban kind of a thing, and we're going to get into that very shortly to see maybe if he's adapted to that, maybe if he's going to overcome that. Right off the bat, it looks maybe not the case, as Strog versus Storlag is a little rough on Ruins, Anarchy versus Doom Guy, and then Ranger versus Galena, a little bit more even near the end there. But yeah, dramiS is fighting out of the corner, the dead last spot in the Americas. It's going to be rough, and ZenAku actually sitting at 4th, I believe 3rd after the updated, I'm not sure, but ZenAku's up there. He's top 4 in Americas, playing out of his mind, getting better and better, and I think dramiS has a tall task ahead of him. But with those pick bans and those champ lineups, what do you think, Dan?
I think that he's been slightly outpicked, only slightly. I think the first map's pretty even. It comes down to slightly which champion you prefer. They're both very strong on Ruins in the Sorlag and the Strong and Pika. Same matchup we saw with Garpy Cooler, so again, the same reasonings behind that. Moving on to Exile, I'm not a big fan of Anarchy on Exile at the moment. I've seen it picked a lot, but again, I think it's just a very risky pick. I spoke about it when I was analyzing it before, but one of the reasons for me on Exile is that Anarchy favors maps where you can really control the higher ground. You can use that speed to open up angles, which you could do well on Exile, but I just find there's too many routes to get onto that high ground. You've got multiple teleporters. It's not an open high ground. There's many different angles you have to defend. You just can't do it. And as soon as your opponent's up there, you become very vulnerable. And obviously Doom is just an incredibly strong pick on any map. But again, Exile is a good map for Doom. Not stellar, but still very good. And then Veil, pretty even. I think the Ranger is just one of these picks that dramiS likes. Same as Garpy. Love to be super aggressive, use that Dirob in creative ways, whereas, again, Galena just suits ZenAku down to the ground, can play that methodological style, set up his totems, get up on that high ground, build that overstack, and just control the map. And that's what ZenAku loves to do. So I just feel that the picks slightly weight in line with ZenAku, and yeah, we're gonna have to see something special from dramiS here, given the runs that ZenAku's on.
So dramiS, tall order again. Chat, what do you think as the predictions are starting to roll in? Let's take a look here. It looks a little lopsided, just a little bit here.
Yeah, I think
ZenAku seems to be the favorite, Dan.
Yeah, I think you got to take into context as well that I think dramiS had a couple of bye weeks compared to some of the people that are slightly above him in the leaderboard, so he's got some ground to make up. I mean, he's 1-3, so at least he's won a series. But yeah, I think ZenAku's just been playing really well. I think the maps and the picks allow him to play his style better than dramiS' style.
Yeah, and it's a style that's still developing. If you pop into his personal streams where he's practicing, grinding against players in the Pro League, he's talking about how he's kind of adapting into his own style. And at first, he kind of would pick and choose other players' styles and just emulate that, and slowly starting to throw his own spin on it. And it's working. It's working. The time he's putting in is absolutely working as he's just getting stronger
Yep.
and stronger, getting scarier. But I heard the buzzer in the back, so we're going to be getting into the first map shortly. And Dan, predictions. I mean, it sounds like you're edging towards ZenAku on this one.
I'm going to go 2-1 again. I think 2-1's always a safer bet, but 2-1's a good ZenAku, yeah.
Well, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Chat, go with your stockbroker on this one. To the moon. To the moon here. As we're going to be on Ruins of Sarnath to start it off. It's going to set the pace for the series. Again, the last one of the day, so thank you to everybody in the chat for hanging out and tuning in. Appreciate you all very, very much. And this one should be a banger to end on. We'll see. We'll see. dramiS is going to use that strug to the best of his ability, but we'll see if he can overcome Master ZenAku.
Yeah, be tough, but he's definitely got it in his locker. When he's on form, he's really fun to watch. But to your point about ZenAku and his style, like what he's a great example for when players are coming up is he's just mastered the basics. Like and it sounds really simple, but he times well, he positions well, he plays safe, and he just makes sure that having a sound understanding of the basics and good decision making, it'll make you go far. You don't have to be flashy, you don't have to be eccentric.
Right
as I say that, as I say that, it's dramiS with the initiative pushing in aggressively and catching ZenAku off guard. So, there we go.
Nowhere to go, putting Sorbet in a corner. Rough start for ZenAku and a fantastic start for dramiS. Pulling no punches and saying, I'm going to play my game. I don't care. I don't care who you is. I'm going to do this my way.
Oh, delaying the Mega. Really like this. He wants to use as much of his stack as possible if he can see his opponent in good time. He'll want to take a fight. ZenAku will obviously be completely disorientated by this as well.
Ooh, not even firing back, just taking that rail to the face. ZenAku, he does have Spit. Spit's behind him. dramiS, wow, delivers a big rocket around the edge of there. Wow, wow, wow.
I mean, the Mega's been up for nearly a minute now, and ZenAku will have no idea that it's up unless he's seen it. It's still an item he can fall back onto, so dramiS more than happy to take this fight and take this frag, which he will be doing. It's just a matter of time. And there it is, a relatively clean one as well. He's trying to swap to the shotgun to get that last full frontal bit of damage, but not even given that gratitude.
Missing out with that rail as ZenAku wants to grab this heavy and reassess the situation. Only down too early. Rails traded from both players there. This is an opportunity for ZenAku to trap dramiS outside. There's the rail, has the spit as well if he wants to deny, and there it is after another rail into the LG, and ZenAku!
Disrespect!
Oh, baby. All right, we got a game, Dan.
Yeah,
Oh, he wants it. Is the Peaker going to stop it? Gets in on it. Bit of a misplay there for dramiS. Never mind the tri-bolt, just making sure that ZenAku does not aggress past that choke point. Well done for dramiS. That could have been bad. Landmines, Dan, landmines. But yeah, that gauntlet. Maybe he adopted Razy's playstyle. As the spit into the LG, the Peaker won't be able to save dramiS this time. As ZenAku makes his way over to the Rockets, and he will have a delicious Mega waiting for him upon his return. He's going to be able to grab this outside armor as well, maybe even dealing some damage at the heavy. Looking for some hourglasses, wants that spit back up, finally sees him. He's going to grab those and double back down the corridor to get even more. And so spit is locked and loaded. Good awareness from ZenAku to make sure that he has that in the back pocket. It's been serving him pretty well. Good rail there from dramiS. Almost threading the needle. But it's kind of hard to miss Sorlag. She a big girl too.
Yeah, hit those hips. But they're quite happy just trading item at the moment. As I say that, dramiS says, nope, I want to have this item as well. Being a little bit greedy, the Peaker comes out, not the best one, and actually disorientates him. And that was a bit unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
It was a good play. Coming through aggressive with a shotgun. dramiS needs this frag to make this count, but the rail was huge, and finally he gets it.
And dramiS tracks him down and just relentless with the pressure. Not letting him get away, does not want this Sorlag to get a frag and the stack. He knows that he has to keep the pressure on. Great rail from ZenAku there. Goes for another one.
wow.
dramiS is so weak, and ZenAku is going to let him live. He grabs the heavy, steals it away, but ZenAku leaving him really, really weak. Should have a tickle. And Peeker comes out, but it's not enough. Mid-float gets taken down. ZenAku now looking to aggress, but he doesn't have the HP after that fight. Needs to be careful. There's a rail. 10 HP has to back up, and Mega is right there for him.
What I'm really enjoying about this particular match is just the clash of styles. You can see that ZenAku is playing incredibly safe. Again, methodical, just trying to play the items, and he's allowing dramiS to overextend, to make the mistakes. They have to be wary that dramiS now is in a very strong position, picked up those major items. Big rocket coming out and bounced up into a rail. So, as I say that, dramiS makes the right move at the right time.
Really nice shot there from dramiS as well. Comes barreling into the heavy. We've seen it again and again. dramiS needs to stop as he's just eating so much damage, but he makes it rain somehow. Gets the frag, but he steps in the acid, does grab a 25 to stop it, but that could have been dangerous.
At every one of these engagements, dramiS is coming out so low, and ZenAku knows that. He's using the speed this time to close the gap, but the aim isn't quite there. The rockets are huge.
Oh!
The rail swap.
How?
Wow.
What a flick. ZenAku can't scale the mountain. He's trying to get positioning, and oh wow, dodging those rockets just barely. And again, it's the same situation as dramiS going to push through the spit. He won't, instead opting to launch some rockets in the general direction, does convert on a rail. ZenAku going up the jump pad, and it's air wars now between these two players as the Peeker comes out. Doesn't like the way that it feels, and dramiS puts it back in his pants here. 5-7, ZenAku trying to make something happen, hitting rails on his way back towards the Mega. He's going to be able to grab this rather cleanly as that rail will miss from dramiS, and he's got to be very careful here. Gets sent knocked down to the ground, and the LG tickle will take him out. ZenAku has the ability to just spawn off this momentum. The dramiS shotgun to the face, almost.
Missing that rail when he died was actually crucial, because it meant that push was never going to work, and now getting the refrag, tying it up, giving full reign for both major items. What I expect dramiS to do is just to try and tickle, or sorry, what I expect ZenAku to do is just try to defend this Mega without taking too much damage. As I say that, takes loads of damage, sweep up both major items, and then go on the aggressive. But dramiS is unrelenting with this pressure.
dramiS is also just not really respecting the spit. He's taking all this take damage, it's adding up. And when he doesn't convert on a rail, when both players are weak, this is what happens. ZenAku has the lead now. 8-7, needs to be careful. That's a good rail from dramiS there. Looks for another one as ZenAku casually trying to grab that health bubble, and dramiS makes him pay. Nothing is free in the arena.
dramiS knows how important it is to not allow ZenAku free items and to at least trade on them, and he's doing such a great job. It's highly risky, but it's definitely paying off.
Again, this tick damage, so much mileage from ZenAku.
Yeah.
Dropping down, getting the heavy, has position on the Mega as well. That's a fantastic rail. dramiS has to think twice before he tries to aggress on this Mega. He's not going to. He doesn't really have the choice. And oh, ZenAku almost catches him out at the armor, knowing that he's weak and needs to restack. Less than 3 minutes remaining, 8 frags between these two, and this is a close one, Dan.
It's a close one, and now pretty much the first time ZenAku's going to have that full stack from both major items. 200, 175 Mega, and you can see now he's feeling confident. You obviously want to hit a rail before taking the engagement, but you can play with the reins off a little bit here. dramiS also then needs to check himself before pushing into any of these major items, just because of how stacked his opponent is. Easy.
Ooh.
And this is
Really
where it gets
nice.
painful.
Good shotgun follow-up again. ZenAku now utilizing all of the weaponry and catching out dramiS again.
Oh,
Make
what a
that
swap.
a triple. The hat trick with the shotgun, putting him up 3. 2 minutes left. Almost catches him out with a big rocket again. dramiS trying to keep up the pace, but at what cost? Goes up the jump pad, misses a rail. ZenAku now knows that he's under fire. Grabs a free Mega as he's making his way down towards the heavy. 8 seconds left, and again he wants to try and get that spit. dramiS good damage, missing with the follow-up rail though. Now he's trapped outside. Ooh, that rail though, somehow dramiS finds the way. There's the spit preemptively. dramiS trying to go all in, trying to go ham sandwich, but he ends up dead. Roast beef, 12-8, and ZenAku finally gets taken down, but what a run.
And that's the problem. It's the first time all game he gets that stack, and he gets 3 to 4 frags in a row. And dramiS has been fighting for his life to stay in the game and not allow that to happen, and now he has to find 3 frags in 1 minute, which looks almost impossible given the fact they're going to trade at some point.
1 minute warning.
Spit again, locked and loaded for ZenAku. He's been so good at using that, knowing that dramiS is just going to slip and slide his way into choke points, and he's going to take that additional tick damage. There's nothing he can do about it, especially on Strog. I mean, it's just really, really well played there. A little preemptive now from ZenAku, waiting with the shotgun. Needs to be careful of Peeker to the side of the head. That's going to hurt. But again, goes through, and now he's taking tick damage. Grabs the health bubble immediately.
No.
Triball, what is happening right now?
It's just
We're playing
wasting
Quake in
time.
an alternate dimension. dramiS finally landing the shotgun, but you're absolutely right. Dancing all day, 30 seconds for 2 frags. And Zen may have done it with that little telly play there.
100% did, and really well played. And I think this is a perfect encapsulation of what we've seen from dramiS this season. Like, I love to watch him. He's got such a unique playstyle. He's super aggressive the entire time, and yet he falls at the final hurdle, 12 to 11. ZenAku didn't set the world alight. He just played a solid game on Sorlag, and yet dramiS had to pull out all the stops to even get it that close.
Just a well fought, just coming up short, just barely. And yeah, your heart goes out to dramiS because you're absolutely right. We've seen it time and time again. It's rough, but he's so close, always knocking on the door. But Zen just had that extra little something to push him over the edge and take that first map. But dramiS didn't play that necessarily wrong by any means. I feel like he didn't respect the spit as much as he could have, but he still made it work. And trapping ZenAku timeless, I think 3 times at shotgun here.
Yeah.
Just really making him pay, doing a good job. Positioning was fine, but Zen had that extra it factor, drove him over the edge.
It's the finest of balance, because what he did is exactly what he needed to do. He kept up the pressure, he kept in the face of Sorlag. He didn't let her settle, and he didn't let her get any free items. But it was that kind of one bridge too far at the end where ZenAku got a couple of items back to back, got that full stack, and then that's when you have to play extra careful. You have to play like Garpy did against Cooler, incredibly defensive, hit these defensive rockets, catch them in choke points. But he got caught, a couple of frags back to back off the spawn, and then that just pushed it over the edge for dramiS to make a comeback.
Really good shotgun work there, but a little bit too late. Unfortunately, 12 to 11 is going to be the final scoreline for map number 1 in favor of Master ZenAku. Going into map number 2, I don't think dramiS has really anything to be upset with. I mean, obviously he wanted to win the map, but in terms of playstyle and strategy, it seemed to work. So a little bit more of the same perhaps on map number 2. Granted, it's going to be a little bit different as we go into it. Predictions coming in from the chat, still a little lopsided on Exile. It should be interesting. We got Anarchy and Doomslayer. You said yourself that you don't really prefer the Anarchy pick on here, but maybe dramiS has a little something up his sleeve. I don't know.
I mean, we've seen it snowball. I've seen it in the hands of Garpy and Spardy snowballing, but they were very close matches. They snowballed eventually, but it was a struggle. So Anarchy is obviously still a good pick, and people like it. It's a playstyle thing, and dramiS plays a good Anarchy, but I just think it has a lot of weaknesses that can be exposed readily on a map like XL. Like thinking back to Blood Covenant, Anarchy was so strong because you could protect that bridge, that you could patrol that high ground, and it's very hard for your opponent to get up there. And when they do, Anarchy is always in a position to hit a rail because he's so quick. But on a map like XR, the way it's built with those layers and the multiple teleport options, there's different ways to get up to the high ground without being seen. You lose that sense of speed and urgency, and if you get caught off guard because of that, as an Anarchy, you're extremely vulnerable.
We'll see if ZenAku knows, and he's lying in wait here. I personally would love to see some Berserk, throw some fists. But we're going to make everyone wait a little bit longer, Dan. The anticipation's too high, and we love teasing here. So we're going to come back to us, hang out, have a chat. Again, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Today, on Sunday, is for Quake, as always. But yeah, I think the Anarchy should be interesting. I'd love to see some Berserks and some fists thrown. As we're dealing with a little bit of a lobby issue, we're going to get that straightened out and get back into the game. Exile, ZenAku's map pick, lying in wait to take this series 2-0 right off the bat. I'm sure he's going to love that. dramiS trying to fight out of the corner. Again, he is a bye week or so behind, but still 10th place regardless is never where you want to be. Relegation is a coming, Dan. You know, it's right around the corner.
I mean, like when we've seen, the performances we've seen from NA today, it's a surprise when you see dramiS in 10th, given the performance he put in. So in context, like he seems like he has the position to get out of there. But yeah, it's never a good place to be mentally, particularly this late into the season. I know we're like nearly 2/3 of the way through, so or maybe just halfway. So he's still got a bit of time, but I would be surprised if he ends up in relegation. I would be.
We'll see. There's still time, just a little bit. I think we're about the halfway mark for the season, but the predictions heavily lopsided in favor of ZenAku. So the chat has spoken. I believe we have too, as we're getting back into it. Sorry for the minor delay, folks, but Exile map number 2 between ZenAku and dramiS is going to be live shortly. Again, last featured match of the day. Chat, give dramiS your energy. Let's see if we can go all the way to 3 to decide this series as dramiS starts off on the Mega, grabbing some armor and quickly makes his way to the rail and denying both armor shards. So good stack right off the bat. Just needs to try and find ZenAku, maybe do a little bit of damage.
Doesn't have the weapons. He's got a lightning gun now, so he can try and chip away, but needs to be careful before he gets up to the high ground. Not knowing exactly where ZenAku is. He's also got the inject to fall back on if and when he needs it.
Ooh, just missing out with that rail, so close.
He sees now it's been picked up, so we'll have again a good idea of when it will be. Probably should expect that it's been traded on the right time.
What a rail.
That was a great rail though, yeah.
Inject through the telly for a little bit of speed boost and a little bit more HP here. So items are pretty synced. It's just a matter of what item the player wants here. A little bit of LG here from ZenAku. Is he going to try and force the situation? He is, but dramiS is going to ride the lightning. Bit of a misplay there. ZenAku right there to punish and full map control in favor of him, and rough start for dramiS. Gambling it all on a heavy pickup.
Yeah, and that's again a very easy frag, a needless frag to give away at this early stage, and you don't want to give ZenAku a lead. He's now got a split on the major items, so has a good position to keep control here, and if he hits a rail now, it's a really hard task. Oh, even better, just a full rocket.
Oh, Zen, you didn't have to do him like that. That was a hell of a rocket right there. Now ZenAku playing from above, as you said, just so difficult when you're forced down below. Missing with the rail, but he still just knows everywhere that dramiS is trying to go to, and he has such a big stack advantage. Catching him out, there's the inject to try and get away,
Lovely.
but the finish with the rail is beautiful by ZenAku. Right off the spawn, somehow dodging that rail. Big play from dramiS, because that could have just absolutely ended him. Don't drop down, please, Lord, as the shotgun is going to be enough. The rocket's pretty good from dramiS, but ZenAku takes that
just
frag.
Before the Mega though, and this is the problem. Now he's restacked, he's got a light to his name, so he's sold away that resource. He's controlling the rail area, although he did miss there, so just protecting the key resources that this Anarchy needs. And I mean, he's struggling at the minute to even get an item, let alone get a frag.
ZenAku just not coming up with anything, and dramiS actually grabs it and somehow turns that around. And Zen has to be like, what in the hell just happened? Well, you missed every single rocket that you shot, and dramiS punished accordingly, and he might follow up with it. The shotgun will land, and dramiS back in this. 4-2, and that's very unfortunate for ZenAku.
No!
What just happened?
He heard, did you not see it from his path? He heard him come out of the TP, turned to see him as he jumped for the Mega. Because he turned, he lost momentum, and just slowly fell to his death.
No. That
Sound like Peter Griffin.
The sounds echoing throughout Exile as dramiS drops one, but he might be able to get this back. The inject is going to save his life. ZenAku trying to hang on, somehow escaping, and the rail will land. 9 HP for dramiS after the blunder. Can he fight his way back?
Oh, I'm so sad.
Can we have a tally for how many times dramiS has taken out dramiS on this one already? This is unfortunate to say the least. 5-1, 4 minutes in. dramiS just needs to slow it down. That's exactly what he's doing. Mega's going to be the next item up. He is going to grab some rockets, potentially dealing damage at the Mega. If he could find it, that's a great rail. Avoids one from ZenAku, actually, on the way out. ZenAku somehow finds him. Beautiful shot from the Australian here.
really clutch shot as well, because it means that he cannot commit for this heavy, meaning it's a free item once again for ZenAku, and the pressure begins to mount. He's working his magic, he's getting the damage in. That's a great shot though to stall that aggression.
Just a chunky haymaker from dramiS, right to the helmet of ZenAku. Still firmly in the lead by 4, but making it interesting is dramiS. Here's the Berserk a little bit too early, but he's going to drop down anyway. Mega is up. dramiS going to leave it up, just trying to finish off that kill. I like the idea. He's going to double back for the Mega, but he's going to lose out on the heavy. Items traded here. So that's the kind of play that dramiS needs. Being able to close out the kill is going to be huge on this one, as he is down 4. Maybe pressing his luck a little bit going through the telly again. Tribald ready to... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if it's a strategical decision from ZenAku, but he's seems to be emphasizing the heavy, and obviously that's a pretty good resource to monopolize, given that Anarchy has free reign of the bios and a constant inject. So that inject becomes less profitable if you've only got a Mega to work with. Alright.
Berserk. Oh no. Run away. Benny Hill theme. Tries to make it work. Does get him down to 25 HP, but the shotgun lying in wait from dramiS will land him the frag. Getting him one step closer to tying it. Does have inject. Will pop it before going through the telly and securing this Mega. Ooh, tickle tickle from down below as ZenAku making sure that it's not completely free. Bit of a flick rocket there won't land, and dramiS actually ends up giving the heavy for free, so this is unfortunate. 50 Shard is waiting to be loved on by dramiS here as he takes a little bit more damage. Make that a lot more damage as the rail finds him. ZenAku now in prime position to take another frag, and the shotgun from the Doomslayer. Name a more iconic duo. Oh baby, so much LG from dramiS. Finds the rail, plants him, and has the inject up. Trying to make something happen off the spawn. Does have him trapped. A little bit of rocket damage. Out comes the Berserk again, and he gets stuck in midair. He gets posterized, and that is unfortunate as he strikes a pose. But dramiS says, "I'll just take the frag. Thank you. You're gorgeous, darling." But no. 6-5. dramiS trying to claw his way back into this one. Takes a lot of LG damage. Needs to be careful. The rocket a little bit too preemptive. Goes through the telly. This is going to be big damage. And ZenAku with the shotgun yet again takes him down. 3 minutes remaining. 2 frags separating these players.
Yeah, and dramiS is just getting a little bit bullied at the moment. Big rockets coming out through that TP exit as he eats the bait. Hook, line, and sinker. Map is slowly slipping away from dramiS as it looks oh so good. And ZenAku has really got a lockdown on these items now.
dramiS trying to hit these chip rails from afar. The tribal landing, hitting its mark. That just gives him more real estate to push off of that rail, pushing ZenAku down for the time being, but he's just going to take the telly up, LG out, and that's going to be another frag for the Australian. 9-4 as we're closing in on 2 minutes left. Time is tick-tick-tocking here. Shotgun out, when in doubt, trying to make it rain, but he's going to miss the blast. ZenAku prevails again, 10-5s, and there's ice all over the map, and this one is snowballing.
It is indeed, and what can you do to quell the tide? The answer is not a lot at this point in time. You know, rarely see dramiS make a move in the last 2 minutes. He can't get on the high ground, and when he does, ZenAku is there to meet him, case in point, and then dramiS walks away licking his wounds if he ever gets away at all. dramiS can't get an item. ZenAku's got a great split between both of them, and another frag will really seal the doom, as I cannot see. 6 frags in a minute and a half.
It would take some sort of miracle, for sure. ZenAku looks like he's going to take this series 2-0, coming around the corner. Hot and heavy with the shotgun in hand again. Doomslayer in the shotgun. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yes, mate.
Mate. In it. But dramiS isn't in it, unfortunately, as he's down 0-2. The series will go to ZenAku. Chance for third map redemption, getting a little bit of money, but the series is his. And ZenAku now in this position. Oh, Berserk! Oh! And the drugs can't save. as the punch is too strong. Maybe ZenAku's been juicing. He's definitely been lifting, as those biceps are massive. Maybe not to you, Dan, but to us normal plebs, gigantic. 13-5 as he's lifting heavy right now is ZenAku. And if he could take this set 3-0, he's knocking on the door of catching up to Rafa and Deheng. I know he's already sitting in third. If he wins all three, he'll be at 11 maps, and I believe the Liquid Boys have 14 apiece due to a bye week situation. So that makes things interesting, where you have the potential where ZenAku could be knocking out the Liquid Boys from the first and second seed.
Yeah, I think it's, again, a really interesting situation that he's kind of knocking on the door of displacing Shane, who's established himself as NA number 3, or should we say NA number 2 after last stage, but still, in context, NA number 3. So NA at the top end is becoming competitive, whilst the bottom end is very much a scrap.
And yeah, that one done and dusted, officially in the books towards ZenAku. 2-0 for the boy. And dramiS, I mean, I don't know if it was the Anarchy play. I don't know, you know, that minor flub where he kind of had momentum and then it all went horribly wrong in slow motion. You could hear the wails through the caverns as he fell to his death. Yeah. And that one's gonna haunt him. I mean, that one's brutal. It's shifted the tide completely.
Yeah, no, I have to give it to you. That is a kick in the nuts and a massive momentum shifter. There you go. But
it's just it's brutal. It's brutal. And again, you can't help but think that Sync Air is in his living room sipping on whatever he's sipping on, coffee, tea, and just, you know, shaking his head and being like, I did that. I feel pretty good about it.
Stroking his cat.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So shouts to Sync Air. Always keeping the maps interesting.
In the context of the game, like it was a big shift, but again, he got outplayed for 90% of that duel. And the Anarchy pick played a little bit of a role. I don't see the value it gave in this match. Like, the theory is there, you know, you get constant inject up, so if you can then consolidate that heavy, you generally got a really good stat to work with. The air control is nice, the speed is nice, but I just think it has a lot of weaknesses on Exile, and haven't seen anyone really excel on it just yet. And ZenAku, again, just played nice and steady, played around the heavy, probably again strategically as a strategic choice to make sure the inject wasn't as beneficial, and then as soon as he got that item, he swept up to the high ground and blocked any of the entryways. And dramiS often ran into a kind of a shed load of pain as he tried to make his way towards the Mega.
An entire house of pain, some might say. Yeah, absolutely
some
brutal.
might say, but yeah, once again, ZenAku looking clean, calculated, smooth criminal.
Looking clean indeed, but can you go for the clean sweep? We're going to be on Veil of Nath for the last map of the series and the day, and it's going to be Galena versus Ranger. Now, Galena historically can set up those totems near the Mega, kind of set up shop, if you will, but earlier when we saw Galena played on Veil, it was kind of a weird situation where even with the overstack in the pocket, I believe, was it Sparty? I don't remember. Somebody only got 2 heavies. And it's, you know, in my opinion, if you have the overstack in your pocket, you want to play more towards the heavy. Yeah, I believe it was CNZ that had the Galena but didn't really play towards the heavy. So I'd like to see ZenAku maybe set up shop up top but play more towards the heavy because you got that overstack in your pocket. So it depends on how the spawn goes right off the bat. I mean, if you can get the totem economy going, great. But with dramiS on the Ranger, he's going to be able to Dire Orb up. He doesn't necessarily need to take the Telly or the jump pad to take that totem damage. He can go straight onto the Mega from below. So it'll be interesting. This is another map with verticality similar to Exile, but I think the pacing is going to be a lot different on this one.
Yeah, a little bit. I actually imagine that dramiS will play quite similar to Spotty, trying to bully his way onto items, use the speed, use the orb, use the rocket jumping to try and steal away the heavy from the lower ground, then try and bully his way onto the Mega. And again, ZenAku, pretty easy game plan on a Galena. Really set up the totems up on the TP area to maximize damage, consolidate your position up there. So if dramiS wants to make those plays, sometimes you just let him, and then you just deal mass damage whenever he tries to. And if he doesn't, you steal it away. So you just want to play the safer, more positional game plan here and just let dramiS kind of fall into your traps. But definitely need to see something over and above from dramiS to take this map from ZenAku, if I'm honest. I like the Galena pick. ZenAku looks clean. I don't know, it's not looking good. You dramiS punters.
They're all about it. dramiS is actually pulling out ahead on this prediction. So I don't know. The people know something, Dan. The people know something.
I mean, they heard a 2-1, and now they're just kind of like, if it's a 2-1, therefore it must be a dramiS win, you know?
By my calculations, he has to take the last map because that's the final one. So whatever ZSX said, I'll follow.
And that's, you're not wrong necessarily, but we'll see. ZenAku looking for the clean sweep. He might just take all your prediction channel points, chat. We'll see. That's why I don't predict anything, because I'm just terrible at it.
It's an organic prediction. 3-0 is what I've shifted my stocks to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you sold?
I sold everyone out, yeah. I dropped it. Yeah.
Of course. Pump up the market and get out.
Exactly. So I got my
absolute dog.
I sold at the top, boys. Don't worry.
Well, this is it. This is for all of the marbles of the clean sweep. ZenAku versus dramiS. It's going to be the last map of the day, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here. Let's make some noise. Let's have some fun, as the predictions actually just while out near the end there. ZenAku just landslide. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to start off on ZenAku. He's going to start off on this mega spawn, totem in pocket. Picking up the shotgun. He wants a little bit of rockets. Does have the LG. Maybe even making his way towards the rail. Totem goes down on the machine gun, and dramiS just lying in wait. He's like, he's going to want this railgun, and I'm going to make sure that he pays.
Interesting.
Oh, it doesn't work!
Interesting. I mean, ZenAku had that calculated. Like, he knew what was up. Dropped with the right weapon in the right angle, and the dramiS trying to rocket jump up. Failed spectacularly. Still going to go through the TP. Just needs to deal mass damage.
No, dramiS.
Oh.
All right, he's got a good attitude about it. That's all you can hope for right now. Is already in a world of hurt, and dramiS evens it out. Keeping it cool, Dan. Gets that frag back, says first one's free. ZenAku's still up by 1.
He's out of minus. Gets a heavy. ZenAku, though, already has an overstack. Just got that last totem taken away, so it doesn't matter. He benefited from it as well. The drop down from above, though, painful. He comes down with the orb. Nice little chase there.
Dropping the 9-pound hammer down, tying it at 1. And what is it about the Americas and being in the negatives? Is that just a me thing? Oh, wow. Polina goes flying after that rail. Well done by dramiS.
Just mimicking the economy.
Oh, it hurts, Dan. Words hurt. And so do those rails, as dramiS stringing them together now. On fire. ZenAku is able to get the mega. Doesn't really have weaponry. Nail gun and now rockets. Totem in pocket for the overstack. And down it goes. ZenAku now the one on fire. But still trailing by a frag. He's going to be able to grab those time shards. Making his way up the back hall as well. And again, another pocket totem in 4 seconds. And that's going to be really big for ZenAku. dramiS needs to deal with these.
You do, yeah. He'll be reflecting on the fact that I haven't seen some for a while. He must know something's up. But again, it's the eternal challenge that you have to maintain position. If you go hunting for them, you forfeit position. It's not a good place to be. So you just got to deal with it.
Ooh, big rail from ZenAku.
Yeah, I like how dramiS is engaging in a rail game now, not trying to force the issue as he was on the last maps, closing that gaps. If he does that well, it's definitely going to be his big chance, but dropping on the totems, not ideal. Clearing up 2 though, that's a better sign.
Ooh, but he does eat a rail as well. All that damage stacks up, and heavy right on time for ZenAku to split. Not quite enough for him to get back. He is going to be able to deal a little bit of damage. dramiS actually mispositions, and that could cost him. Does pick it up. And ZenAku, great rail there. Both players extremely weak. Up the jump pad, ZenAku almost dooming himself there. If dramiS would have gone through that telly, that would have been an easy shotgun cleanup, but instead it might be ZenAku pulling the curtain over dramiS's eyes. Both players so weak. Is he going to survive this? How? Ooh, Dire Orb.
What?
I don't know, but heavy goes to ZenAku as things are getting crazy, Dan.
Yeah, that was very weird. ZenAku was surprised as well as dramiS appears out of nowhere, and now he's taking a bite here. I'm not sure about this one. But he does decide to retreat, not taking too much damage, but that's a pretty greedy take. He must have known that ZenAku was going to come, and that was not worth it. Trading a 50 light for 100 rocket.
It's a bad exchange rate, Dan.
Yep, it really is.
There's the rail! Oh no.
Oh no.
Again.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Right in the old breadbasket as ZenAku storming the market now. 2-2. He has the Mega. He should be able to get in on this next heavy unless dramiS keeps stringing together rails like that. ZenAku still has the stack advantage. 15 seconds till the heavy. Could use the totem in the pocket here. 15 seconds until he has one. But now he's kind of on the hunt with dramiS. Taking his time and somehow hitting that rail. That was beautiful. 73 HP ZenAku in a bad way, but he's going to grab that heavy as dramiS wants no part of it.
He's won himself the Mega because of it. ZenAku might push in here to try and do some damage, which he does. The orb to distract, great to hit a rail up the ass and gets out of there. Also taking out the turret as well. Nice play by dramiS, and again, working around this rail is definitely going to be the key.
Yeah, great job using the Dire Orb for a distraction and then spreading those cheeks. Still tied at 2 halfway through, though. This one could go the distance. We could see some sudden death to end the day. ZenAku looking for any kind of rail angle he can as he scares the heavy, making his way back to the Mega. Clean rocket jump into a clean rocket. dramiS making it rain, trying to hit all the damage he needs to, and he does the fadeaway rail. Beautifully done by dramiS there.
And this is a much more calculated game from dramiS. He's working situations to take these fights instead of just forcing them. ZenAku, I wouldn't say rattled, but he's definitely on the ropes now. He's struggling to keep up with the rail game that dramiS is playing. He's done 3 times as much rail damage dramiS has relative to ZenAku. It's been the key so far. But again, this is the situation where he's trying to force the issue. The missed rail from ZenAku has come back to haunt him again as his rail is just not connecting, and dramiS sneaks away. Back down to the back challenge, but there he appears out of nowhere, once again catching ZenAku off guard. He has to retreat himself as that damage is going to put him in railing distance. dramiS might have won himself the heavy.
That's so frustrating. We've seen ZenAku close out those frags, but he didn't have shotgun, so he stuck to LG, couldn't land the rail, and that was a possible tied frag issue there for ZenAku that he missed out on. But dramiS very thankful for that, as he still has a firm 1 frag lead and a Mega in his pocket. Big split between the items. dramiS catches him out. There's 1 rail on his deathbed, but dramiS capitalizes with the shotgun. It hits a rail off the spawn. dramiS heating up right now.
Yeah, he is. He's playing smooth. The pressure's definitely on ZenAku. He's nearly got the overstack up once again, which he's done a good job of keeping for large portions of this game. But you can see, he's just struggling to keep up with the damage output. 1,000 less damage at this stage in the game is really painful. Overstacks there. Opening rail. Now is it the time to push? The answer is no. Oh, whoa, he's got it aggressively! Caught it completely off guard. Oh my word. dramiS is Ranger.
Yep. Pushes him down into the rocky depths of hell, as that's where ZenAku will lay. Final resting place? Not sure. Still 3 minutes before we make that call. 5-2 in favor of dramiS, as he's got some fight left in him. He doesn't like the way those first 2 maps went at all. Great rail through the telly. That was really well done from dramiS. Almost serves up another rocket, but the rail is going to be good enough. There's the rocket jump to try and close the gap, but unfortunately misses. But ZenAku's in a bad way right now. Just a matter of time. The totem heals him up out of rail range. Somehow the overstack saves his life. And it's just a matter of time. There's the drop, a little bit of Batman action into the Dire Orb. Hadouken, says dramiS.
Does lose that on the heavy though, so somewhat mission accomplished from ZenAku, but now it's a race against time, and 4 frags is going to be quite a lot given what we've seen. The rail is just so good from dramiS. It's just not there from ZenAku. He's took the Mega, but can't do anything. Tickling him.
Tickle, tickle, tickle. ZenAku backs up towards his own totem, but dramiS has such a firm lead that he doesn't need to fight this if he doesn't want to. Does rocket jump up to the heavens, a little bit lofty, and ZenAku takes advantage. 2 minutes left, and although dramiS has the lead, he does need to be careful not to completely throw. ZenAku aggressing now. Great rocket into the breadbasket, followed by another one in an LG tickle. Grabs the Mega, and this could be bad, Dan. There's still time.
There's a long time before the next item though, so dramiS, it's a bit of a lifeline because ZenAku has to go on the hunt here, and dramiS in a good position to do damage. Nice rail. Again, he's had such a long period of overstack as well. You're surprised the scoreline is as different as it is. dramiS is now on the run. Is it a little bit too early? No, he's making himself hard, which is great. Big Mega as well, which he's going to forfeit, and now he's just going to play defensive.
put on the emergency brakes before that totem. That's going to be big. As minute 10, just looking to kneel and run out the clock. ZenAku on the hunt, trying to make it rain, trying to get in the highlight reel for comebacks here. He wants to be a Sparty. Just misses with that rail. Is going to be able to catch out dramiS with the LG. A little bit more damage, but dramiS taking the path of least resistance, just playing with ZenAku. Time is of the essence in the rail. ZenAku playing some 50 seconds. Rocket jumps back up. Needs to be careful. What a vertical rail! Almost hits the follow-up. He's going to drop down to try and push this, but dramiS with great damage, keeping him at bay. But he does have the Mega up.
He knows where he is. dramiS going to fall into his trap. He is. They're going to meet here over by the light armor. Steals it away. dramiS has to just rocket jump or anything to get away. Good rail. That's clutch, and it stops dramiS' aggression. And could have just won him the game, as he can't chase his opponent down. And it was a nail biter at the end, but it looks like dramiS has clawed his way to a 2-1.
dramiS looks to have put himself on the board there, as that final confrontation was going to be it. That would have been the one if ZenAku wanted his way back in, but dramiS says, nay, I want one map. So put some ducats in his pocket. He's going to walk away with the doubloons, but ZenAku's going to walk away with the series. And well played to both players. I mean, dramiS, again, we kind of talked about it. His play style, his tactics, they're not bad. It's just on the first map especially, ZenAku just had that little extra bit to take him over the edge. And this could have been a completely different story. I mean, dramiS takes that, it's 2-1 for dramiS. So I think it was a really close set, score lines aside, and really well played. But ZenAku will walk away into the sunset with a 2-1.
He does indeed. It's just a higher risk playstyle that requires a lot of moving parts to all align for it to work. And when it works, it's beautiful. Like, this map was so much fun to watch. He takes risks, he's creative, he just wants to deal damage, and he has great aim to boot. And the deciding factor was the aggression in the rail. Like, he did 2,000 more damage with the rail alone. Plus some of the plays he made with the rocket jump and the orb to disorientate and catch ZenAku by surprise. Just shows that he has it in him. He just needs that, again, that level of consistency, and maybe to find, you know, second gear, not fifth gear all the time.
Yeah, completely agree. And from my perspective, I mean, ZenAku, again, getting stronger and stronger, of course, but now I feel like he might be hitting this, I guess you can call it a plateau, where Chain was in a similar boat where he started winning, but he couldn't quite close out 3-0s. And I wonder if ZenAku's going to struggle with that now. Now, granted, winning the series is a big deal. That's fine and dandy. But I think at this level, knowing ZenAku the way I do, I feel like he is pushing for that 3-0, and he just can't seem to get over the hurdle quite yet. So big shouts to dramiS for making it tough on ZenAku, making him work for it, and stealing away that last map. And I think that is the perfect way to end a day of Quake, Dan.
Nice and short and sharp, just how I like it.
Well, that's why we're paired together. Yeah, it was only a 5-course meal today. We did have some audio and video problems again, but thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We appreciate it. And yeah, any final words, Dan, as we get closer and closer to the Stage 2 finals?
No, I mean, NA, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I don't know what went on with some of your
boys
series
are doing
today.
fine. Don't worry about NA. We're good. We're good.
Some of the boys are doing fine. Some of them are questionable. EU looking good. Garpy played well. I'll be back in a few weeks, but see how it evolves. Really exciting.
Yeah, as always, thanks to PGL for throwing this on. Bethesda, thanks to the players, and hoping everyone, you know, wherever they are, they could get everything settled. I know there's a lot of issues throughout wherever. But yeah, big shouts to everyone in the chat again. Thank you for always tuning in, being supportive. Doing the predictions again. If ZSX has lost you channel points, we can't refund those. Sorry, that's just what happens when you do some predictions. But it's going to be it for us today. Don't forget to tune in next week. More Quake action coming at you. Same time, same channel. We appreciate and love you all. Take care, be safe, and we'll see you next week.